Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that touches every single one of us at some point in our lives. Suffering. It's a heavy word, isn't it? It conjures up images of darkness, pain, and confusion. We often ask, why me? Why this? Our natural instinct is to run from trials, to avoid the shadows at all costs. But what if I told you that these very shadows, these moments of deep struggle, are where God does some of his most transformative work? What if, instead of running from them, we could learn to embrace them? Let's start by shifting our perspective. Instead of seeing trials as pointless punishments or random misfortunes, let's view them as a divine forge. Think of a blacksmith shaping a piece of raw metal. It requires intense heat, pressure, and repeated hammering. It's a violent, difficult process. But through that process, something rough and shapeless is transformed into a tool of purpose and strength. The Bible tells us that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. Our trials are not meant to break us. They are meant to build us. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for our character to be refined, for our patience to be stretched, and for our inner strength to grow in ways it never could in times of ease. It's in the struggle that we discover a resilience we never knew we had. One of the most powerful truths we can hold on to in our darkest moments is the promise of God's companionship. It's easy to feel isolated when we're hurting, as if we're completely alone in our pain. We might feel like God is distant, silent, or has forgotten us. But the reality is the exact opposite. Scripture repeatedly assures us that God is near to the brokenhearted. He doesn't stand on the sidelines, watching from a distance. He gets down in the valley with us. He walks through the fire with us. The psalmist David, who was no stranger to hardship, wrote, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." That is a promise for you today. In your loneliest hour, in your deepest despair, God is right there, holding your hand, catching your tears, and whispering strength into your weary soul. You are never, ever truly alone. His presence is the light that pierces the shadows, not by eliminating them, but by illuminating the path through them. Now I know what you might be thinking. That's a nice thought, but this pain feels anything but light. It feels overwhelming. And you're right. In the moment, our trials can feel crushing, like a weight too heavy to bear. This is where having an eternal perspective becomes so crucial. The Apostle Paul, who endured an incredible amount of suffering, shipwrecks, beatings, imprisonment, constant danger, wrote something astonishing. He called his trials light and momentary troubles. How could he say that? Because he was comparing them to the eternal glory that far outweighs them all. He had his eyes fixed on the bigger picture. Our time on this earth is just a tiny sliver of our existence. The pain we experience now, as real and intense as it is temporary. It's a passing season. But the glory, the joy, and the peace that await us in God's presence are eternal. Holding on to this hope doesn't diminish our present suffering, but it does reframe it. It gives us the endurance to keep going, knowing that this isn't the end of the story. There is a glorious final chapter waiting for us. So, how do we practically live this out? It starts with a courageous decision to embrace the pain rather than run from it. This sounds counterintuitive, I know. Our culture tells us to numb our pain, to distract ourselves, to do anything but feel it. But spiritual growth happens when we have the courage to sit in our discomfort, to face our fears head on, and to bring our honest, messy feelings to God. When we stop pretending we're okay and instead cry out to Him with our doubts, our anger, and our heartbreak, something amazing happens. True intimacy is forged. It's in that raw vulnerability that we move beyond a surface level faith and develop a deep, authentic relationship with our Creator. Confronting our hardship with God by our side is the pathway to a deeper knowledge of His love and faithfulness. It's where we learn that His grace truly is sufficient for us, and His power is made perfect in our weakness. Perhaps the most challenging part of suffering is the feeling that it's meaningless. We look at our situation and see only chaos and destruction. Faith is trusting that even in the chaos, God is crafting a beautiful picture we just can't see yet. The story of Joseph in the Old Testament is a perfect example. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongly imprisoned. From his perspective, his life was a series of unjust disasters. Yet, at the end of his story, he was able to say to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." God didn't cause the evil that was done to Joseph, but he masterfully redeemed it, using it to save an entire nation from famine. In the same way, God promises to work all things, not just the good things, but all things together for the good of those who love Him. Your current trial may not make sense right now. You may not see any good in it, but trust that a divine purpose is unfolding. God is using this very situation to position you, to prepare you, and to bring about a greater good in your life and in the lives of others. Finally, every trial is an invitation to deepen our faith. When life is easy and everything is going our way, it's tempting to rely on our own strength, our own wisdom, and our own resources. We become self-sufficient. But when a crisis hits, when the floor drops out from under us, we are quickly reminded of how little control we actually have. It's in these moments of helplessness that we are driven to our knees. Challenges strip away our self-reliance and force us to depend wholly on God. We learn to trust His wisdom when our own understanding fails. We learn to rely on His strength when ours is gone. Our faith is refined like gold in a fire, burning away the impurities of pride and self-sufficiency, leaving behind a pure, resilient, and unwavering trust in God. This refined faith is one of the most precious treasures we can gain from our journey through the shadows. So if you are in a season of trial right now, I want to leave you with this encouragement. Don't waste your suffering. Don't just try to endure it. Instead, lean into it. Seek God in the midst of it. Embrace the shadows, not because you love the darkness, but because you trust the one who is the light within it. He is transforming your trials into triumphs, your pain into purpose, and your character into something beautiful and strong. You will come out of this, and you will not be the same. You will be stronger, wiser, and more intimately acquainted with the God who loves you beyond measure. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, feel free to share it with them. We'll see you in the next one.